Sorry about the autofocus meet in this video, and hopefully that'll be sorted very soon, but for now you're just gonna have to put up with me very slightly out of focus, as annoying as that is. Enjoy the video. Alright guys, it is your boy Ryan Thomas from FailTech, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Elephone P8000. Now, Elephone are a company that you probably haven't heard of, or if you have, obviously you've been searching this video to try and find this. Elephone are a company I've never heard of until my friend Rob actually recently bought his P8000. Now this was maybe a couple of months ago now, and he absolutely loves his phone, and I can tell why. Obviously I'm going to be reviewing this from his perspective. I can also give my insight from seeing and playing a little bit about with the phone, and some of the cool things that I've pointed out that I didn't even know were there. Okay, so first is the screen. It is a 5.5 inch 1080p panel, which looks really good. I would say this is on par with something like the iPhone 6 Plus. It's a really nice feeling display because the colors are really good, the viewing angles are good, and the touchscreen itself feels responsive. Everything about the screen is just great, and I would recommend this phone definitely for that. It's got 3GB of RAM, which is, just enough. 3 gigs is probably the sweet spot for an Android phone. It's got 16GB of storage space, which is obviously microSD expandable. Rob says the size is absolutely great, and I feel that the build quality is sublime. Now obviously it doesn't really have a lot of metal. It has metal rails and it has a plastic back and it has a glass front, but it feels heavy. It feels like a solid chunk of phone, and it doesn't feel like it's going to break very easily. The B-roll that you will be seeing or have been seeing actually has a screen protector on, and that is not the screen looking really funny, that's the fact that it's got a screen protector on instead. The fingerprint scanner, that's on the back. That's really fast. Like, it's an insanely fast fingerprint scanner for a phone company that almost no one's heard of. It's really effective. Although it's small, it really picks up your fingerprint very well. The cameras are great. So the camera on the back can record 1080p video, 13 megapixels. At 13 megapixels, you'd hope for 4K video, but there is no 4K video, so 13 megapixel camera. For the people who think that 4K is the way of taking photos, you don't really have 4K photos. It's kind of, you measure photos in megapixels, so 13 megapixels. About 8.1 megapixels is 4K. Just a little bit of knowledge for you guys. So no 4K photos because that's not really a thing. No 4K video because unfortunately the sensor doesn't allow for that, even though it's 13 megapixels. The camera does produce great quality video and great quality photos. It does have soft keys on the bottom with the back, the menu and the home button. Now the cool thing is the home button is also the notification LED, which is really cool. I didn't know that, and I saw it and I was like, Rob, is this the home button? And he was like, yes. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is awesome. So the home button, it was also the notification LED, and it's a really cool feature. I don't know why I'm getting so pumped about that, but it's just something that I found really cool. Battery life, something that we a lot of the time forget about with our phones, and battery life's great. It easily gets through a day, can possibly go through 2 if you're very lightly using it. And that's great, that's what we've come to expect. It would be nice to get 2 days out of every phone, but we're not at the point where the technology is good enough or the implementation is good enough yet, because apparently we just want thinner phones with smaller batteries for some reason. Performance is great with that 3 gigs of RAM and a 64-bit octa-core processor, so it's powerful enough for anything. It's not like you're running on dual core and like 512 megs of RAM. It's properly kitted out with its hardware. It's got a 4165 milliamp hour battery, which is removable, and it's absolutely crazy in a 5.5 inch phone to have a battery that big. That is because the P8000 is not a small phone by any means. It is not razor thin. It is a little bit, I wouldn't call it chunky. It's about the same size as my Nexus 4, so it's what iPhones were like possibly in the iPhone 4 or iPhone 3GS days, so not very thick at all, but almost 4,200 milliamp hours is a great size battery. If every phone battery was like that, I'd love that. It's got quick charge too, which is really interesting, and I wish all phones had that. Remember, it takes 10% in 10 minutes, and a full charge only takes an hour and a half, which is really good. That's from 0. The skin apparently is good, but Rob would recommend you go and download a new ROM because the default ROM isn't very good. So I would recommend Cyanogen if it's possible, but that's because I love Cyanogen. But Rob would recommend getting another ROM because the original ROM isn't that good. The speaker is actually quite decent for its placement. I actually do like the quality of the speaker. It's not that bad. It's not that good, but you know, it's a decent speaker. It does have some hang-ups, and the default ROM gives a lot of hang-ups and issues and crashes, which isn't very good, so we'd recommend, like I said, going for the other ROM. And with his custom kernel, you can actually get a double tap to wake. Now, I just want to say this, is he had, I believe, 1 or 2 devices where the buttons were broken or it didn't work, and now on his one now, the home button isn't that great, so like you have to press it a certain way. This is really bad quality control, and it's possible because he got perfectly good service every single time. I mean, within a week he had his new phone, had sent it, and got a new one back. So service is good, but quality control isn't that good. So that's something to watch out for. It depends where you buy it, I guess. I don't know if it's with the manufacturer or just with the distributor, but would recommend you looking into that and being aware that it might happen. You might get a perfectly good phone. You might get one that's broken that you need to send back. Quality control isn't great with this. Overall, I would recommend this phone wholeheartedly because this phone costs £110 brand new. £110 for the phone I just described. 3 gigs of RAM, 4,000 mAh battery, 5.5 inch 1080p display, all octa-core processor, all of that for £110 brand new. I can't rave enough about this phone. How ridiculous is it, the fact that they are selling this and iPhones and Galaxy series devices with, okay, maybe a little bit better build quality, are selling for 5 times as much. That just completely eradicates them from the market, to be honest. If it was my way, if I had my way, every phone would be like this. £110 for a 5.5 inch 10. I'm going to stop talking about it. As you can tell, I was explaining the phone and then it got to the bit where I was like, the price. Oh my god, the price is just something, a sight to be seen, and everyone should go out and buy this phone if you want a good phone for the price. I'm done. Right, thanks for watching, guys. You get the full thumbs up. I wish I could get my feet up and everything. Like, everything. This phone is absolutely insane. Quality control. Doesn't matter if you get a phone, you have to send it back. It's only a week that you've gone. £110. Jesus Christ. Anyway, guys, it's been your boy Ryan Thomas, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.